Welcome back, mamas. Y'all, today we are going to talk about how what we focus on really can determine and change how we perceive things. And I'm also going to share a tip for how to start off 2026 on the right foot. So let's get to it. Do you wish you had control of your days, that you had a rhythm, but instead feel overwhelmed, scattered, and like there's never enough time? You're in the right place. I'm Danielle, a recovering workaholic, wife, and stay-at-home mom of 2 girls. I've learned how to reclaim my time and find purpose and freedom so I can be present with my kids and feel like myself again. Here, we embrace where we are, but we don't stay there. So if you're ready to trade the chaos for clarity, the guilt for grace, and the endless to-do list for aligned flow, grab the kiddos a snack and toss in that laundry because I know you're multitasking, and let's do this because your time, your purpose, and you matter. Okay, mamas, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you are enjoying the holiday season. I absolutely love this time of year. And so I want to keep this short and sweet. We don't have 2 episodes this week. It's just the one, and it may be released on a different date than normal. And that is okay, right? I want to talk just real quickly today about what we focus on and how that determines so much of our lives, because what we focus on is what we get. Right? What we focus on is what we get. And this week in particular, it's the week of Christmas, right? And it's the end of the year. And so a lot of times we can focus on there's a Christmas, it's all this excitement. It's a lot of busy and holiday hustle and bustle, right? And then it comes to after Christmas, and a lot of times there's like a letdown. And then we have the new year, and all this focus changes to what we're going to do differently for next year, what we can do better, like New Year's resolutions, maybe the word of the year, all of these things that we tend to say we're going to do differently, or we're going to try to give something up, or we're going to, whatever it might be, you're going to lose weight, you're going to exercise more, whatever the thing is, right? It's all about what we focus on, right? What we focus on is what we get. And so if we focus on problems and being busy and how stressed we are and all of these things, then that's what we're going to get. We're going to get more of that. We're going to get more problems. We're going to get more stress. We're going to get less time. When we tend to focus on what we can control, what we can do, what we want in our lives, that is usually when that is what we get. Okay. So I'm going to start here with a quote. And this is just one I found. It's unknown. It says, "When you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you'll have more opportunities." And so that is what I want us to do this holiday season and going into the next year, is to focus on possibilities. Open your mind to possibilities, to not focus on our problems, the things that we believe are wrong in our lives, the things that we're doing wrong, the things that we aren't living up to in our own eyes, right? The things that maybe we're not proud of, right? I want you to focus on the possibilities. And what is going to happen is more opportunity is going to come from that. What is going to happen is it's going to open your mind up to, what can I create? What can we do? Yes, differently, right? What we can do better, though. How can we become better? It's all about becoming better and improving who we are and growing into the person, the mom, the woman, the role model that we want to be for ourselves and for our children, right? For our lives. And when we do that, when we focus on possibilities and when we focus on things that we can control and when we focus on the things that we want, we are going to get more of that. I have one more quote here. This one is from George Bernard Shaw that says, "The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react." once we decide to act and not react. So, how can we act and not react? This is something where planning, that's going to be a big part of us acting instead of reacting. And I talk about planning a lot, and I know that it's something that you might resist or think that you cannot do because of the just all the, unknowns that are motherhood and the unknowns that are your children's emotions and different things that come up each and every day. But we can decide how we're going to act instead of being on the reactive when we're planning, and also when we have taken the time to think about circumstances, when we have taken the time to think about what we have considered our problems from this past year, or things that trip us up, or things that we know we would like to do differently, things that have been a problem for us in the past. If we take some time and sit and reflect on those things, we can decide how we want to act in the future so that we can not be so quick to react, or so that we can have a plan. And I'm not saying that our plans always go as planned, right? That is not really the reason that we plan. It's not so that our lives can be perfect. We plan so that we don't have to be always in the reactive mode, so that we can act in such a way that it's going to better fit with our lives, that it's going to better be in flow with who we are and how we want to behave and how we want our days to go. Because when we're always on the reactive, that is when there are problems, right? That is when there probably are the most problems. So if we can sit and think about and do some reflection at the end of the year and think about how, maybe just think about some of the times that you feel like you act in a way that you wish you wouldn't have, like when you get the angriest, or when you lose your temper the most, or when you say or do something, or your child says or does something that really gets under your skin and it causes you a lot of stress. It causes you maybe to react instead of being able to be composed and act in a way that you want. You act in a way that you do not want. And when you think about those things and you take some time when you're not in that heightened state of emotion, the things that make you the angriest, or they just trigger you the most, and you think about how you would like to react, or what you can do in that situation to not react in such a way, then you can, when you're in the situation, have a better reaction, because you will have thought about it prior. And maybe you jump to that reactive state right away, but maybe you can catch it. And maybe then you can turn it around and have a teaching moment, right? With your child, with yourself, right? Maybe it's literally just stepping back that you have to do in that moment so that you do not react, and think about, okay, I know what I said I was going to do. Because when you're not level-headed, a lot of times you're not able to think about what you would do in that heightened state. You will just react, right? But if you can catch yourself, take a minute and say, okay, I already thought about this. This is what I said I would do in this situation. Let's see if I can go do that, and then go do that. Right? So that is what I would love for you to think about during this time that might be kind of after the holiday letdown, after the Christmas letdown. You might have some time for reflection and things this week. And next week, we're really going to dive into the possibilities, right? Opening your mind to those possibilities and what that could look like for you and what you want in your mom life. So I would love to help you with any and all of these things that you may be dealing with as a mama. I have been through it myself. I have talked to so many other moms. You are not alone in going through all of these things. You are not alone when you get in that angered state, when you get in that, triggered state of mind. And I know during this holiday season and all of December is busy, a lot of emotions are high. And so some of those things may be top of mind that you you may be able to think about. But just know that you're not the only one who has been feeling these things, who has been acting, the way that you have been possibly acting this holiday season. And know that you can change it. Know that you can be better. Know that you can take some time and really reflect and think about how you would like to act instead of maybe how you have been acting, right? And really doing the work on that. And so I can help you with that and so much more. If you go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, you will see my coaching page. Sign up for a prioritization clarity call with me, and I will help you to start down this path and to really figure out, what that true north is for you. Open your mind to the possibilities and go through the steps to make sure that you understand who you are, what you want for your life, what is going to make you happy in this season, and what is right for you and your family right now. So until next week, y'all. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right back here next week. Keep smiling, y'all.